What's up, guys? Just want to make this quick video to talk about the value of a real estate agent and why they're worth 6% nowadays, especially with the advent of technology, and how everyone's sort of using that to look at statistics in housing and things of that sort. So one of the first reasons that an agent is still worth the 6% is due to the pure fact that they're still studying the market every day. So they're analyzing trends, figuring out which builders are building the next subdivision to figure out how many listings are going to be on the market, the number of days on the market, how you're actually going to price your home effectively if you want to, if you're moving somewhere, relocating 60 days, how you're truly going to get to that point. So from that standpoint, when a client comes to you and says, hey, I have to be in Chicago in the next 60 days, you'll know based on the data previously sold and sort of your market knowledge and, your contacts within the business, what's the most likely price point to get you there. Otherwise, you work with clients or people who think they can do it on their own, and when they end up finding out is it's a lot harder than they think because they're not in the market, they're not studying the market every day, and just learning what's going on, and that usually just leads to some frustration and confusion when people, if someone decides to go for sale by owner, for example, just because it's not their job. They're not a realtor. It's not what they're paid to do. It's not what they're trained to do. The second thing that's pretty big is going to be how to handle an inspection response. So a lot of times after a buyer makes an offer, they're going to have an inspection, and they're going to go through sort of nitpicking in some cases, little details they want fixed before closing. And this can be very much a big issue at times because the buyer might request a lot of different items to be fixed, and sort of negotiating through that and figuring out, okay, what do they really want, or are there some things they're just additionally asking for that aren't really deal breakers, and just having that experience to know what buyers are really looking for and things that they're like, well, this has got to be fixed, or we're definitely not going to buy the house, kind of thing. And even more on the note is maybe you don't want to fix those things and you could offer credit at closing. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that an experienced realtor is going to know how to handle that situation to essentially provide the most effective outcome for both people, whether that's just getting on with the closing and, like I said, paying a closing cost or a repair cost at closing, or whether that's actually you as the seller going through and making those changes because in fact that you can get them done for cheaper than what they think it might cost to do so. The third reason is going to be sort of how to handle a low appraisal. So oftentimes, when a buyer makes an offer, it's going to be contingent on the financing from the bank. And if that appraisal comes in low, well, most people can't afford to put an additional 5% on top of a 20% down payment to pay for a house. And oftentimes what happens is either the buyer will have to manage to come up with that 5%, additional down payment, or they're going to end up going back to the seller, and the seller is sort of like, well, we've got this far, we'll just lower our price to accommodate that. But a good agent is going to know how to sort of refute that appraisal, or find a way to essentially get to the value that the home's listed for, and that way the transaction closes and everyone's happy. The seller gets the money they want in their pocket, and the buyer gets a house, at a great value and all the amenities they want. So the next thing, number 4, is just going to be, a real estate agent is sort of like your lawyer, right? So they're providing legal counsel on, real estate matters. Things, they'll come out to your property, they'll identify things they think that could be problematic even before your house sells, and that way you don't get into any sort of sticky situation down the road where, buyer complains they didn't know about a defect and say it's the foundation or what have you. Real estate agent is looking after the seller side, and the same was the buyer's agent looking after the buyer. But the agents are essentially, like I said, legal counsel and looking after these people, and that is something hard to do yourself because you can't sort of step back and be non-subjective, and it's the knowledge and it's the background in real estate that really makes an agent effective in this area. Like I said, especially when it comes to writing offers and putting offers in and just sort of negotiating back and forth. A good agent's going to know, okay, what can I give and what can I take to get the best results for my clients. And the fifth reason, that realtors, it's their job, right? They're constantly being trained, whether it's current mortgage practices, mortgage rates, or whether it's new developments in housing. Maybe it's new construction materials, new way of doing things, or um, just understanding building materials, understanding how houses are put together, and just having the knowledge to know, okay, well, if there's a GFI in the kitchen, is that is that a deal breaker? Well, no, it's not, because it's a pretty simple fix, and it won't cost that much. But to someone who doesn't know anything, they could end up going online and reading blogs or threads about the huge dangers of not having a GFI, and freak out about it, when in fact it's relatively easy to fix. So hope this video helps, just sort of understand sort of the value that an agent has, especially in today's market, because everything's online now. Technically anyone can go online, look at comps, right, and figure out what they think their house is worth. I mean, they could even call up an agent, have them come out and do a report, do a CMA, and then price their home for sale by owner. But like I said, it's sort of all the knowledge and expertise that makes an agent truly good at what they do, and add the value that you're paying them for. Because at the end of the day, they will make up for that percentage that they charge with the list price, and or working with a buyer, and just taking them through the process in a hassle-free way that really sort of pays for itself and is a great advantage. So hope you guys enjoy this video, and feel free to comment or subscribe below. Thanks.